Time for a few stories from inside. This one, by the looks of it, is inside the Sunday Mirror. 750,000 primary children without a school library. It's talking about the numbers of primary schools that don't actually have a library, which, unsurprisingly, when you read the article, at parts of the country where attainment is lower in reading levels for young children are the ones that don't have the libraries.
That's really shocking, actually.
And they're calling on the government. This is the National Libraries Trust who've done the survey. They're calling on the government to commit to giving every primary school a library by 2025. I mean, to be honest, if you don't work in education, as I don't, you just assume that all schools had a library. So.
We know now that the fad for kind of fixing things, the repair shop, is such a huge show on the BBC, and it looks like cobblers have had a bit of a reboot. You can see here pictures from
very good.
A place. Yeah.
See what you did there? You didn't even realise.
I didn't see what I did there. So this is a kind of new style cobblers called the Shoe Lab, which is doing massive business. Partly, I think, just from people wanting to sort of ensuring their investment. So this is a place that I think specialises in high-end shoes, but they used to repair 80 pairs of shoes a month. Now they're doing 1,000 pairs of shoes a month. So if you want to dig out those Christian Louboutin high heels
in the back of the cupboard,
that is the place to go and get them fixed, Rog.
This is a story I think you did on the programme with Charlie yesterday, didn't you? Talking about the death knell for the village hall, 1,000 of them across the country. It's been picked up today. I think this is the Mail on Sunday. 1,000 facing closure as fuel bills soar. It's not just talking about village halls in quaint villages. I mean, we used to have one. I lived in Hampshire for a long time, and there was a really nice village hall where I lived. It's also talking about a Birmingham mosque, a big mosque in Birmingham, saying it's going to cut back on its community activity because its energy bills are going to go up from £60,000 a year to £250,000 a year. So there's a real knock on. It's not just village halls, it's community spaces.
And this one I think is interesting. The Children's Commissioner, Rachel D'Souza, has come out and said that parents shouldn't feel under pressure to get their kids a smartphone. Now, I think typically these days, the age children get a phone. In my house, it was when you started secondary school, but increasingly
it's younger,
it's 10 and younger, Christmas coming up as well. But the issue here is smartphones. So she's saying you should just be able to get them, you know, a bog standard.
So they can call you if they're in trouble.
So they can call and text. But good luck with that one. I mean, if the platforms that your kids are communicating on are all apps and require, you know, some
you can't
kind
do
of
Snapchat on an old brick,
device.
can you? Which is what my kids use. Have we got time just for one little one? Britain's pigeon population has increased by 150% over the past 50 years. Really tiny story, this. It calls it is it a pigeon coo or a pigeon coop?
Very good.
Could be either, couldn't it? But apparently there are lots of them, and they're eating £75 million worth of rapeseed alone, ruining them on farms across the country.
The sky, don't they?
There you go. Farmers are allowed to shoot them, apparently, but they reckon that might force even more of them into towns and cities.